Hey everyone. Today I want you to pause for a moment and truly look at your life with complete honesty. Not the version you show to the world, not the version you try to protect, but the real one that only you understand deep inside. The one where you feel stuck sometimes. The one where you feel like you are not moving forward. The one where you know you can do more. You can become more. But for some reason you are not doing it. The one where you feel tired, not because you worked hard, but because you are mentally drained from overthinking, comparing, and carrying the weight of things you cannot control. Because the truth is very simple, and maybe a little uncomfortable. Most people do not lose in life because they are not smart enough. They do not lose because they are not talented. They do not lose because life is unfair. They lose because they never learn how to win. They never understand the rules that actually create success, strength, and peace of mind. They follow their mood instead of discipline. They wait for motivation instead of building habits. They start with excitement and stop with excuses. They get distracted by everything around them. They compare their journey with others. They give up after one failure and call it the end. And slowly, without even realizing it, they start accepting a life that is far below what they are capable of. And the most dangerous part is this. After some time, they stop believing in themselves. They stop trying. They convince themselves that this is all they can do. But deep inside, there is still a voice that knows this is not your full potential. And that is why this video matters. Because today, I am not here to give you temporary motivation that disappears after a few hours. I am here to give you 5 real rules. Rules that are simple but powerful. Rules that are uncomfortable but life-changing. Rules that can completely transform the way you think, the way you act, and the way you live your life. If you truly understand these rules, and more importantly, if you apply them, even in small ways, you will start noticing something powerful. You will start feeling more in control. You will start thinking more clearly. You will stop reacting to everything. You will stop depending on motivation. You will become stronger, calmer, and more focused. And slowly, step by step, you will become someone who does not break under pressure, someone who keeps moving forward no matter what happens. So listen carefully, not just with your ears, but with your mind. Because this is not just a video. This can be the moment where your thinking starts changing. And when your thinking changes, your life starts changing. This video will also help you improve your English, so stay focused and listen till the end. And if you want to keep improving your life and your English, make sure to subscribe. Let us begin. Rule 1. Master yourself first. If you cannot control yourself, you cannot control your life. This is not just a sentence. This is the foundation of everything. Before you try to win in the world, before you chase success, before you try to prove anything to anyone, you must first learn how to win inside your own mind. Because your biggest enemy is not the world. It is not your past. It is not other people. Your biggest enemy is your lack of control over yourself. It is your thoughts that keep changing. It is your emotions that keep reacting. It is your habits that keep pulling you back. It is your mind that keeps choosing comfort over growth. Think about it honestly. How many times have you planned something important, but did not do it? How many times have you said you will start tomorrow? How many times have you promised yourself that you will change, but you went back to the same patterns again? This is not because you are weak. This is because your mind is not trained. Your mind is trained to choose what feels easy, what feels comfortable, what gives quick pleasure. But success does not live in comfort. Success lives in discipline, in effort, in repetition, in doing things when you do not feel like doing them. And this is where most people fail. They trust their feelings more than their decisions. If they feel good, they work. If they feel tired, they stop. If they feel motivated, they start. If they feel bored, they quit. But feelings are not stable. Feelings change every day. So if your life is controlled by your feelings, your results will also be unstable. But winners understand something very powerful. They do not wait to feel ready. They decide what must be done, and then they do it, no matter how they feel. That is self-mastery. Self-mastery means you take control of your actions even when your mind is resisting. It means you wake up when your alarm rings, even when your body is asking for more sleep. It means you sit and work even when your mind is searching for distractions. It means you stay calm in situations where you used to react. It means you control your words, your reactions, and your decisions. This is not easy. It is uncomfortable in the beginning. It feels boring. It feels like a struggle. Sometimes it feels like you are fighting against yourself. But that fight is necessary, because every time you win against your lower self, you become stronger. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you build power. Every time you control your reaction instead of reacting emotionally, you build maturity. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, even a small one, you build trust in yourself. And that trust is everything. Because once you start trusting yourself, you stop depending on motivation. You stop needing constant reminders. You stop quitting easily. You become someone who can rely on himself. And that is real strength. You do not need to change everything in one day. You just need to start taking control in small areas. Control your morning. Control your time. Control your habits. Control how you react to situations. Control where your focus goes. At first, you will fail sometimes. You will go back to old habits. You will feel like giving up. But that is part of the process. What matters is that you do not stop trying. Because slowly, very slowly, you are training your mind. And once your mind becomes disciplined, your life becomes powerful. Because the person who can control himself cannot be easily distracted, cannot be easily influenced, and cannot be easily broken. So before you try to win in life, win this battle first. Master yourself. Everything else will follow. Rule 2. Stay consistent when it gets boring. This is the point where most people lose, not because they are weak, but because they do not understand one simple truth. Success is not built in exciting moments. Success is built in boring days. Everyone feels motivated in the beginning. Everyone feels excited when they start something new. Everyone dreams big when everything is fresh. But very few people continue when that excitement disappears. And that is exactly where your life starts changing. Because after a few days or a few weeks, everything becomes normal. The same work, the same routine, the same effort, no instant results, no big changes. And your mind starts saying something dangerous. This is boring. This is not working. Maybe this is not for you. Take a break. Start something new. This is where most people quit. Not because they cannot do it, but because they cannot stay consistent when it stops feeling exciting. Understand this deeply. If you only work when you feel motivated, you will never reach anything big. Because motivation is temporary. It comes and goes. But consistency is what creates real results. Consistency means you keep showing up, even when you do not feel like it. It means you continue doing the work, even when you are not seeing results yet. It means you trust the process, even when progress feels slow. This is where real strength is built. Because doing something once is easy. Doing something for a few days is also easy. But doing something every single day, without seeing results, without feeling excited, without getting immediate rewards, that is where most people break. And if you can stay consistent in that phase, you are already ahead of most people. Think about it like this. If you improve just a little every day, even 1%, it may not feel like much in one day or 1 week. But over time, those small improvements become powerful. Your habits become stronger. Your mind becomes more disciplined. Your skills become sharper. And one day, the results that felt invisible suddenly become visible. But the people who quit early never reach that moment. They keep starting and stopping. They keep changing direction. They keep chasing new things. And because of that, they never go deep in anything. Consistency is what creates depth. And depth is what creates mastery. You do not need to do something big every day. You just need to do something, even on bad days, even when you feel tired, even when you feel bored. Because consistency is not about doing everything perfectly. It is about not stopping. Some days you will give your best. Some days you will give less. But as long as you keep moving, you are winning. And there will be days where you feel like nothing is changing. Those are the most important days. Because those are the days that test you. Those are the days that decide whether you are serious or just interested. Interested people stop when it gets hard or boring. Serious people continue no matter what. And if you can train yourself to continue, especially when it is boring, you will build something very powerful. You will build discipline that does not depend on feelings. You will build a mindset that does not quit easily. You will become someone who finishes what he starts. And that alone can change your entire life. So do not chase excitement. Do not wait for motivation. Do not expect every day to feel amazing. Instead, focus on showing up every single day. Do the work. Repeat the process. Trust the journey. Because in the end, it is not talent that wins. It is not luck that wins. It is consistency. Stay consistent when it gets boring. That is where real winners are made. Rule 3. Protect your focus. In today's world, focus has become one of the most powerful and rare skills, and at the same time, one of the most destroyed. Everyone wants success. Everyone wants to grow. Everyone wants to do something big. But very few people are actually focused because they are surrounded by noise, constant notifications, endless scrolling, too many opinions, too many distractions, too many things pulling their attention in different directions. And slowly, without realizing it, they lose control of their focus. They sit to work, but their mind keeps wandering. They start something, but they do not finish it. They try to concentrate, but they get distracted within minutes. And then they say, I cannot focus. But the truth is, it is not that you cannot focus. It is that you are not protecting your focus. Focus is not something you magically have. Focus is something you protect. Because your attention is your life. Where your attention goes, your energy flows. And where your energy flows, your results come from. If your attention is scattered, your results will also be scattered. If your attention is strong and directed, Your results will be powerful. Think about it honestly. How much time do you spend doing something that truly matters? And how much time do you spend getting distracted? Checking your phone, watching random content, thinking about things that do not help you grow, comparing yourself with others, listening to people who do not understand your vision. All of this slowly weakens your focus. And when your focus becomes weak, your progress becomes slow. Because deep work requires deep focus. Anything meaningful in life requires your full attention. But most people are trying to build something big with a distracted mind. And that never works. Protecting your focus means you start becoming strict with your attention. You stop giving your time and energy to everything. You become selective. You decide what deserves your attention and what does not. It means you reduce unnecessary distractions. You do not check your phone every few minutes. You do not allow random content to control your time. You do not let other people's opinions disturb your direction. Because every small distraction may feel harmless, but together, they destroy your ability to concentrate. And without concentration, you cannot grow. Protecting your focus also means you learn to be present. When you are working, you are fully working. When you are learning, you are fully learning. When you are doing something important, your mind is not jumping everywhere. This is a skill, and like every skill, it improves with practice. At first, your mind will resist. It will want distraction. It will want easy stimulation. It will want comfort. But slowly, as you train yourself to stay focused, your mind becomes stronger. Your ability to concentrate increases. Your work becomes deeper. Your results become better. And something powerful starts happening. You start doing in 1 hour what others cannot do in a whole day. Because your attention is not divided. This is the advantage of focus. Most people underestimate it, but it is one of the biggest reasons why some people move fast in life while others stay stuck. So if you want to win, you must protect your focus like it is something valuable. Because it is. Do not give it away easily. Do not waste it on things that do not matter. Do not let distractions control your life. Be intentional. Choose where your attention goes, because the person who controls his focus controls his future. Protect your focus. That is how you move ahead while others stay distracted. Rule 4. Learn from every loss. This is where most people break, not because they cannot succeed, but because they do not understand failure. Everyone wants to win. Everyone wants success. Everyone wants results. But very few people are ready for what comes before success. And that is failure. Failure is not a sign that you are not capable. Failure is not proof that you should stop. Failure is not the end of your journey. Failure is feedback. But most people take failure personally. They fail once, and they start doubting themselves. They face rejection, and they lose confidence. They make a mistake, and they feel like they are not good enough. And slowly, they stop trying. Not because they cannot improve, but because they are afraid to fail again. This is the biggest mistake, because if you avoid failure, you avoid growth. Every person who has achieved something meaningful has failed many times. Not once, not twice, but again and again. But the difference is this: they did not stop. They did not see failure as something that defines them. They saw it as something that teaches them. When they failed, they asked themselves one question: what can I learn from this? Not why me. Not I am not good enough. But what went wrong, and how can I improve? This is a powerful mindset. Because the moment you start learning from your losses stop controlling you. They start building you. Every mistake shows you a gap. Every failure shows you a weakness. Every rejection shows you something you need to improve. And if you are willing to face it honestly, you grow. But most people do not want to face it. They blame others. They blame circumstances. They make excuses. And because of that, they stay the same. Growth only happens when you take responsibility, when you accept that something went wrong, and you are willing to improve it. This is not easy. It requires honesty. It requires patience. It requires strength. Because sometimes the truth hurts. But that pain is necessary. Because that pain is what pushes you to become better. Think about it. If everything worked perfectly the first time, you would never learn deeply. You would never build resilience. You would never become strong. Failure forces you to adapt. It forces you to think. It forces you to improve. And over time, it makes you sharper, stronger, and more capable. The people who win in life are not the ones who never fail. They are the ones who fail, learn, adjust, and try again. Again and again, until they succeed. So do not be afraid of failure. Be afraid of not learning from it, because failure without learning is wasted pain. But failure with learning is growth. The next time you fail, do not run away. Sit with it. Understand it. Learn from it. Ask yourself what you can do better next time. And then try again with more knowledge, more awareness, and more strength. Because every time you do that, you are getting closer to success. You are becoming someone who cannot be easily defeated. So change the way you see failure. Do not see it as an end. See it as a lesson. See it as a step. See it as a part of your journey. Learn from every loss. That is how you turn pain into power. Rule 5. Never give up no matter what. This is a rule that decides everything. Not how you start, not how talented you are, not how fast you move. What decides your life is this. Do you keep going when it gets hard? Because the truth is, every path becomes difficult at some point. There will be days when you feel tired. There will be moments when nothing is working. There will be times when you doubt yourself. There will be situations where you feel like stopping is easier. And this is where most people quit. Not because they cannot succeed, but because they cannot handle the pressure of continuing. They want quick results. They want easy progress. They want everything to work perfectly. But life does not work like that. Real growth takes time. Real success takes effort. Real change takes patience. And in that journey, you will face challenges. You will feel like you are not moving forward. You will feel like others are ahead of you. You will feel like your effort is not giving results. And your mind will start telling you something dangerous. Maybe this is not for you. Maybe you should stop. Maybe you are wasting your time. This is the moment that decides everything. Because if you stop here, you go back to where you started. But if you continue, even slowly, even with doubt, even with fear, you move forward. And that is the difference. Winners are not the people who never feel like quitting. Winners are the people who feel like quitting but still continue. They understand that emotions are temporary. They understand that tough phases do not last forever. They understand that if they keep going, things will change. And they do not give up on themselves. This is powerful. Because when you refuse to give up, you build something inside you that cannot be broken easily. You build resilience. You become stronger with every challenge. You become more confident with every step you take despite fear. You become someone who does not run away from difficulty. And over time, This creates something very important. It creates belief. Not fake belief, but real belief. The belief that no matter what happens, you will find a way. And once you have that belief, you become unstoppable. Because life will always test you. It will test your patience. It will test your discipline. It will test your focus. It will test your strength. But if you decide that you will not quit, no matter what happens, those tests will not break you. They will build you. Understand this clearly. You do not need to be perfect. You do not need to be the best. You do not need to have everything figured out. You just need one thing: the decision to not stop, even if you move slowly, even if you fail multiple times, even if it takes longer than expected. Keep going, because the moment you stop, everything stops. But the moment you continue, even with small steps, your journey continues. And one day, all the effort, all the struggle, all the patience will come together, and you will realize something powerful. You did not lose because you were not good enough. You were close to winning, but you just needed to continue a little longer, so do not quit. Not today, not tomorrow, not when it gets hard. Stay in the game. Keep moving forward, because the person who refuses to give up eventually wins. Never give up no matter what. That is the final rule. Now go and apply these rules in your life, because knowing is not enough. Action is everything, and your life will only change when you start living what you have learned. Now, before you leave, I want you to understand one final truth. Your life is not going to change after watching this video. Your life will change when you decide to change. Because information alone does nothing. Motivation alone does nothing. Even understanding these rules means nothing. What matters is what you do after this moment. Most people watch videos like this. They feel inspired for a few minutes. They say this is powerful. And then they go back to the same habits, the same mindset, the same routine. And nothing changes. Do not be that person. Be the person who takes one rule and starts applying it today. Not tomorrow, not next week. Today. Start small, but start seriously. Control one habit. Stay consistent with one thing. Protect your focus for 1 hour. Learn from one mistake. Refuse to give up on one goal. And repeat it again tomorrow. Because your life does not change in one big moment. It changes in small decisions repeated every single day. You do not need to be perfect. You do not need to have everything figured out. You just need to stay committed. There will be days when you feel tired. There will be days when you feel like nothing is working. There will be days when you feel like quitting. But remember this. Those are the days that matter the most. Because those are the days that build your strength. Those are the days that separate you from everyone else. So do not stop. Keep going, even if it feels slow. Keep going, even if no one is watching. Keep going, even if you doubt yourself. Because one day, all your effort will come together, and you will become someone you once only imagined. And when that day comes, you will be proud that you did not give up. So take this seriously. Apply these rules. Trust the process, and become the person you know you can be. If this video helped you even a little, make sure you subscribe, because this is not the end. This is just the beginning of your transformation. Now it is your turn. Go and win your life.